Today we're gonna watch The Video Dead, a truly strange gem of a zombie movie from the 80s, whose cover art I stared at a lot as a kid, standing in the video store wondering what could possibly be inside. So what is inside? Well, let's see. This movie came out in 1987 direct-to-video. This was a weird, beautiful time where a lot of movies came straight to video stores. It was actually a pretty big market, similar to streaming service originals today, and just like today, they range from exceptional all the way to very, very bad. I don't want to say this movie is at the bottom of that range. It has its moments. It's kind of like an Italian horror film. There isn't really much of a plot. Stuff just kind of happens. If I had to guess, I'd say someone just had a vision, said, hey, we need to make a movie where zombies come out of a TV, and then retrofitted a movie around just that idea. Which is a cool idea, don't get me wrong. Very fitting of the home video MTV era it came out in. I mean, just look at this. It's fucking cool. Oh, and the dialogue in this movie, well...
I thought you said this was your house.
It is. But I have never been here before. Actually, it's my parents' place. But they haven't ever been here either.
But like I said, it has its moments. And also some pretty impressive practical effects. The movie opens with this guy, who is totally not Stephen King, receiving a mysterious package. What is it? Well, it's a brand new color TV. It starts turning on its own and playing Zombie Blood Nightmare even after not Stephen King unplugs it, and before too long, one of the zombies breaks the fourth wall. After a while of that, the TV tips over and gently falls to the ground, softly landing as the zombie from before comes out of the screen in what is probably the coolest visual in this movie. Pretty soon, the delivery guys from the day before return for the TV.
We're supposed to be running a delivery service. Not a wake-up service.
Hello? Mr. Jordan?
And find not Stephen King murdered and strung up on display at the front door. Cut to 3 months later. The house is sold and the daughter of the new owners named Zoe arrives. While she unpacks, we get a spooky POV of someone shambling up to the house, but it just turns out to be her weird brother, who just has really gross zombie shoes.
Jeff!
His name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
They sit down to a dinner of baked beans, and Jeff disses her choice of college major.
What's your major?
Aerobics.
Aerobics.
I haven't figured out why this is in the movie, honestly. In a normal movie, this little bit of info would come up again later, but this is no normal movie. My only guess is that it's there to fill time, because that information does nothing. It's never brought up again, nor does it ever come in handy. Next we see a mysterious cowboy roll into town and question Jeff about the evil zombie TV. But Jeff is dismissive and shitty.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you telling me this, but, I forgot to brush my teeth, so I gotta go.
And doesn't even really listen to him.
Who was that, Jeff?
Some totally gnarly dude. He was trying to talk us into buying a TV or something.
So later, while Jeff's grungy ass primps his hair in the tiniest wall mirror I've ever seen, the TV calls to him seductively from the attic.
Make love to me, Jeff.
Without question, he drags it to his room and then promptly goes out to rake some leaves. It's there that he meets April.
I'm your new neighbor. Welcome to Shady Lane.
Oh, thanks.
My name is Jeff.
I'm April. Bet you hate it. Sounds like the smell they put on Kleenex.
Wait, what? And a neighborhood dog named Chocolate, who's a good little boy. Anyway, Jeff invites April in for a drink, where he displays both his mean lady killer prowess.
I love animals.
Me too, but I don't count poodles as animals.
Funny you should say that. I hate poodles too.
And his quick thinking and salesmanship.
How about a nice glass of fresh water for a change of pace?
As they're distracted, Chocolate sneaks out to the woods where he runs into a zombie. At the same moment, a human imitates a dog's yelps in the distance. April realizes Chocolate is missing, and the kids go on a search. They find poor Chocolate, who with this performance might be the best actor in the whole film, and decide...
Looks like a heart attack.
April fears the repercussions.
I could get reform school for this.
And they head back home. Once there, we find out that they are both in fact sociopaths.
All we have to do is push the ball down the dog's throat. They'll never know the difference.
That is really sick. You think it'll work?
Later that night, after a very natural phone conversation with April...
Anyway, you're not gonna believe this. My dad is sleeping with the maid. It's so gross. Anyway, I gotta go. Call me again tomorrow.
Jeff decides to lay back in front of his new TV and smoke some dank weed. The creepy lady from the Italian film he's watching appears outside of the television and drops trowel, and they start smooching. Right as he thinks he's about to get lucky, she leaves him high and dry. Now back in the TV and callously mocking his blue balls.
Are you?
Her throat is suddenly slit out of nowhere. The throat slitter turns out to be the Garbage Man.
They call me the Garbage Man.
Who gives Jeff some flimsy exposition.
They look just like you and I, but inside, they're different.
And how to stop it.
The TV and lock it in the basement. Get a mirror. Put the shiny side next to the screen.
That's it for me.
After sleeping it off, Jeff follows the Garbage Man's instructions, almost losing an arm in the process. The TV bleeds in defiance. Cut to April, who is leaving for school.
Dad, I'm leaving for school.
While the adults are still asleep, our old zombie friend and 4 of his associates bust on in and start making themselves at home. The maid hears a noise downstairs and ends up getting choked out. And this is the point of the movie where we learn that these are not Romero zombies, as she inserts an entire hot iron into one's head, and he's unfazed, actually very pleased. We're then treated to a montage of the zombies piling up a body count and clearing out the neighborhood. I honestly think one of the best parts of this movie is how pleased the zombies are with themselves. A returning April screams alerts Jeff, who jumps into action.
April.
With all of the emotion he can muster, he passionately pleads with April to come with him.
We have to get out of here. Go someplace that's safe.
She does, and they get a visit from the mysterious cowboy again. He tells them what he knows.
I'll tell you what I know.
Which is that he was the mysterious sender of the TV in the first place, and that their plight is the name of the movie.
It was the video dead.
Video dead?
Not knowing a zombie greaser has made it inside, April goes to, brush her teeth, and then gets cornered. She takes off running. Oh, wait, nope. She's on the ground now. And the zombie greaser picks her up and carries her off into the night. Wait, nope. She's on the ground again. The remaining survivors regroup, reinforce the house with mirrors, which the zombies hate, and start to make a plan. We establish what are probably the weirdest rules I've ever heard in a zombie movie from there.
Only 2 ways of doing them in. Trap them in a place from which there's absolutely no escape. Then they go crazy. Eat themselves. For a time, they can actually be convinced they're dead. They must not be buried, and left instead to be reclaimed by Mother Nature.
Ones the movie already has and will continue to contradict. The boys finally pack up and head into the woods to stop the zombie menace once and for all. The next 5 to 10 minutes turns into a buddy cop movie as they trade snarky remarks back and forth, which devolves into threats.
You sneak up on me like that again, you know what's gonna happen to you?
No, boy. You tell me.
Death and destruction.
And we get dangerously close to some character development out of old Jeff here.
It's Jeff. Think you can handle that?
Okay, boy.
Go ahead, have your fun. Cow shit.
What'd you call me?
I called you cow shit. You call me boy. I call you cow shit. Okay, cow shit?
He then goes to take a leak and they spot their first zombie. As per this movie rules, they make this zombie believe he is dead, and Joshua pulls out a fucking chainsaw. Jeff likes chainsaws.
My absolute all-time favorite horror movie is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And gratuitous gore ensues. They move on to a cabin and set a trap.
We're setting a trap.
A trap? Great. What are we using for bait?
Good question, Jeff.
Oh, no.
They finally get a bite just as Joshua takes a nap. He finally wakes up, though, and they take all the zombies out but one, the ever-elusive zombie bride, who grabs the chainsaw before they chase her off with a mirror. Why they didn't kill her, I couldn't tell you. But it bites them in the ass because barely 2 minutes later, she ambushes them with a trap of her own and takes out Joshua. After an intense chase, Jeff hits his own bear trap and takes refuge back at the cabin, where he eventually decapitates her, running into the chainsaw in the process. And then, all of the zombies aren't dead all of a sudden, making the last 20 minutes a complete waste of time, but a reasonably fun one. Nonetheless, all of the zombies regroup and swarm Zoe back at the house. But she remembers one of the super dumb, arbitrary rules.
But what if a person could keep from showing fear?
She lets them in, serves them dinner, and then remembers another dumb rule.
To kill them, trap them in a place from which there is absolutely no escape.
And decides to lure them into the basement using the power of dance.
The best place for dancing is in the basement. Or didn't you know that?
But these zombies ain't dumb. They figure out what's up and she barely manages to pull off her plan. The zombies eat themselves and each other, and I guess get sucked back into the TV. Cut to an undefined amount of time later. Zoe's trauma lands her in a mental institute, and her parents come to visit. But they didn't come empty-handed. They brought a gift. Oh wow, I didn't see that coming. And that was the video Dead. It's a pretty fun movie in my opinion. Not one of the best so bad it's good movies. It can definitely drag in some parts, but when it does move, it is pretty damn entertaining. It's one of the most 80s direct-to-video market movies I've ran into, right up there with Chopping Mall and the Full Moon library of films, and one I always remember seeing on the shelf. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and until next time.